Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm SwordBeast, and I'm back here to bring you another video today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Infinity Blade 1 and Infinity Blade 2, and we're going to break them down. I've got two gameplays in the background, and IB1 and IB2, obviously because we're comparing them. But I'm going to break down a couple categories and just tell you my thoughts on the debate of which is better. Now, first we're going to go about story. Story, definitely prefer Infinity Blade 1. That is a much better game than Infinity Blade 2 in the story category, in my opinion. I really like what they did with the story. It was just more epic in Infinity Blade 1. The God King was more of a god. I mean, you do figure out that later he's not really a god, he's just a Deathless, which, I mean, I guess the Deathless are kind of like gods, but, I mean, Deathless are basically humans that can rebirth. And obviously Cyrus, we find out that he's a Deathless in the second game and the book as well. So the God King isn't as powerful anymore because you're just like him. And I think that the way they just did all the epicness and you're freeing your land and everything with Infinity Blade 1, they did that much better than they did in Infinity Blade 2. Obviously you're trying to free the Deathless in Infinity Blade, or not free them, you're trying to destroy the Deathless in Infinity Blade 2. And I just think that when they tried to make the story more complex in Infinity Blade 2, they unintentionally made it less complex and made it too simple, in my opinion. So I definitely prefer the Infinity Blade 1 story over the Infinity Blade 2 story. So Infinity Blade 1 wins in the story category. Now, let's move on to game modes. Now, they both have old game and new game. And but in terms of old game and new game, I don't know. I mean, I didn't go that far in New Game in Infinity Blade 1. I did go pretty far in Infinity Blade 2. I'm at level like 3,500 right now, and or 3,550, something like that. I didn't go as far as I did in Infinity Blade 1, or I went farther, but I didn't go very far in Infinity Blade 1. But the thing is, Infinity Blade 2, the diversity of game modes isn't very high right now, because all it is old game and new game are almost exactly the same. You can infinitely upgrade your stats, but except in old game you're upgrading your gems, and in new game you're upgrading your stats, like your actual stat points. So they're basically the same, except old game is a little bit easier than new game is, and so the diversity of game modes isn't very high. And in Infinity Blade 2, in old game you can infinitely upgrade your stuff, so it actually gets progressively harder. So I'd say new game or old game is much harder than Infinity Blade 1, and the diversity of game modes is greater in Infinity Blade 1. And they do both have back game. I do like the back game more in Infinity Blade 1 in Infinity Blade 2 than I do in Infinity Blade 1. In Infinity Blade 1, all you do is you get the dark mech armor, and you don't have to do anything. In Infinity Blade 2, you have those cool challenges. You have to do the challenges, and you get that cool armor set. You get an exclusive armor set in both of the game modes. Just the one in Infinity Blade 2 has more depth, the actual game mode. So, in the terms of normal game modes, I think Infinity Blade 1 wins. In terms of like secret Easter egg game modes, I think Infinity Blade 2 wins. So, I don't know. I feel like Infinity Blade 1 wins in this area, but Infinity Blade 2 does have that back game. So I guess we can call this a tie. We might go back to change that later. We'll have to see. And, so, Infinity Blade 2, well, what do I want to talk about next? We're going to talk about gameplay next. Obviously, in Infinity Blade 1, you have that, one fighting style, the Sword and Shield Light class, as it's called in Infinity Blade 2, and Infinity Blade 2, you have the 3 weapon classes, so you have 3 times the choice of weapon classes in Infinity Blade 2. Obviously, there's more weapons, more equipment. It's so I think that in terms of gameplay, Infinity Blade 2 would have to come out on top in terms of options. Now, Infinity Blade 1 is definitely a more difficult game. The enemies' break windows are shorter. You don't have duel. I mean, yeah, you don't have duel. You do not. I mean, it's just more random. It's harder to predict in Infinity Blade 1. Also, Infinity Blade 1 has the hardest boss, in my opinion, which is the Infinity Blade 1 God King. So I think that Infinity Blade 1 is the hardest game, but Infinity Blade 2 has more options, I guess, if you want to talk about it that way. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the not alternate, but like, I don't want to say game modes, but like I don't know what to, I don't know what to call them, but in Infinity Blade 1 you have the arena mode, which has survival and multiplayer. In Infinity Blade 2 you have the clash mobs. Now I think the arena mode in Infinity Blade 1 was a much better implementation of this alternate thing. I guess I'll call it game mode, alternate game mode. Much better implementation in Infinity Blade 1. Even though multiplayer did have the horrible bugs, I think that it was much funner than clash mobs ever will be, and survival mode's very fun as well, even though not many people play that. Now, so Infinity Blade 1 has a better alternate game mode. Infinity Blade 2 has a better back game. Infinity Blade 1 has a better old game and new game. Now, so obviously, I mean, for a newcomer, I guess they'd pick Infinity Blade 2 because of the bigger game, and just because it has more enemies, more options, more fighting classes. But for me, I don't know what I would pick, because having talked about this, I've never really put it out all on the table like this, so I don't really know which. So I want you to leave your comments down in the description, not down in the description, what am I talking about? Down in the comments section below, and I will make sure to get to those, and maybe we can get some good discussion going. But for now, I don't really know what I can pick. I mean, like I said, for a newcomer, I'm pretty sure they would pick Infinity Blade 2. If not for like the alternate fighting styles, just the bigger game. I mean, there's more bosses, more enemy types. I mean, they have those awesome lightsabers that I love. More that Infinity Blade 2 has gems, and Infinity Blade 1 does not. Infinity Blade 2 has a better menu system. Infinity Blade 1 does have a lot less bugs than Infinity Blade 2 does. So I guess Infinity Blade 1 wins in the bugs area. So let's do a rundown real quick. So story, Infinity Blade 1. Gameplay, Infinity Blade 2. Although Infinity Blade 1 is a harder game. Game modes, I guess Infinity Blade 1 would win there, but it's very, very close. Size of the game, Infinity Blade 2. Options, Infinity Blade 2. That goes with size as well. Alternate game modes, talking about clash mobs and arena mode. Infinity Blade 1 wins that. I really, really, really hope they bring back the arena mode in Infinity Blade 3. I really and sincerely hope that. I really, really do hope that Infinity Blade 3 is a combination of Infinity Blade 2 and Infinity Blade 1, meaning it's the size of Infinity Blade 2, it has the choices of Infinity Blade 2, but it has the difficulty of Infinity Blade 1 and the amazing story of Infinity Blade 1. So a combination, mash the good qualities of both together, and that will make for the best Infinity Blade yet. Now, but yeah, so I guess I can't really choose at this point, although for a newcomer it would definitely be Infinity Blade 2. I want you to leave your comments down in each comment section below, and I'll get to those, and I'll make a discussion with you. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video to finally manning up and choosing one. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video, guys. That's it for this one. Yeah, leave your comments down in the description. Why do I keep saying description? The comments section. Wow, okay. Leave your comments in the comments section, and I'll get to those. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I'm SilverTheBeast, and I'm out.